Good morning, everyone. So yesterday I showed you that a clean install of Windows 11 was possible on my machine, even though the specs said it wasn't eligible. Through this studio version of Windows 10, I did try to go through the Insider program to download it, and basically, you go through, you sign up for the Insider program, and then you choose your your either development, beta, or preview mode. It's supposed to give you three options. Because my computer doesn't meet the criteria, it would not give me the development or the beta. It would only give me the public preview, which was greatly disappointing. So of course I had a fellow techie send me an ISO, so that's how I ended up creating yesterday's video. So today I'm going to use that same ISO copy to upgrade the studio. As you can see, this is Windows 10. Let me show you here this particular copy of Windows 10. As you saw yesterday, if you are installing it fresh, if you're installing it fresh as a new active or as a new product, of course, it shows as not being active, and it disables some of the functionalities because there's no product key. This one is fully active, so we're going to do an update. We're going to forcibly upgrade it to Windows 11. So I'm going to mount the ISO. That way it's available, and we're going to do this boot up. Now I did this last night to make sure that it was going to do what it was supposed to do, and it did. It just took a little bit longer than it did than the fresh install, but here we go. One thing I did notice is when I did it yesterday, there we go. When I did it yesterday, when I tried to do this, it failed. So we're going to do this, and this is something we do when we're upgrading Windows 7 computers to Windows 10, is we don't do the downloads right away. We force it to use the drivers that are built into the operating system already, and that's what I want to do with this one. So we're going to do next, it's going to check my PC. Of course, this is a virtual machine, remember? Don't do this on a live machine. You must have 4 gigs. That's right. Hold on. Let me make that change real quick. Alright, so I'm back. I had to make a change to the virtual machine, add more memory to it, which is really simple to do on a virtual machine. You turn it off, you make the adjustments, you turn it back on. So here we go. We'll continue. Yeah, I forgot that Windows 10 will actually run on 2 gigabytes of RAM in a virtual setting. Now in a real setting it will not. If it does, it's incredibly slow. License agreement, yep. Making sure you're ready to install. So yep, here we go. Like I said, this process, if you're doing it as an upgrade, takes a little bit longer than the fresh install, which is normal, because what it has to do is install everything and go from there. Excuse me, I had an itch. So I might, you see it doing it here, so I might cut this section out, I might leave it in, that way you can see its actual install process. But again, this is still in development mode. This is the techie review for us techs, to review the operating system, make suggested changes, and so on and so forth. So I don't recommend installing this on a live computer or your primary computer. If you've got everything you want, if you've got an old computer that has the capabilities of installing Windows 11, and of course the specs are out there, 4 gigs of RAM, it says a 64 gigabyte hard drive, preferably SSD, 4 gigs of RAM SSD, and then you have to have the TPN 2.0 module for your BIOS. My computer does have it, even though Windows is saying it doesn't. Go figure. So anyways, this is going to install. As you see, this is normally how an upgrade goes, and this process takes a while, so I might cut this out to let it go through. So as you can see, it's installing. it just takes a while. So I'm going to pause the video for the moment and let it start to do its thing, and then I'll catch it on the restart. Alright, so I turned the recording back up, and you can see that we're at 57% complete. It has not done the restart yet, 58 now. So it's getting near that restart point. As I said, I did this last night just to test it on the studio to make sure it would go through so I can show you all. And this process of upgrading takes longer than just a fresh install. But it seems to be fine. It just needs to go through. So I couldn't exactly remember where the restart point is, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be relatively soon, because we're coming up at almost 60% complete. Like I said, in this process, when you're doing an upgrade, it does take longer than a fresh install. So just something to be aware of. Now, I want you all to be aware of this too. If your PC or laptop is new enough to meet all the requirements for Windows 11, it will, at least according to Microsoft, the 21H2 update, which will come out around about October, November, will be the one that will convert your Windows 10 computer to a Windows 11 computer. So if you wake up one day and you've got Windows 11 and it looks all different, that's why. So if you don't want that to happen, if you wish to remain at Windows 10, you are probably going to have me, I don't want to say permanently disable your Windows updates, because you've still got more to go through. I'm not sure exactly how Microsoft is going to do this, if they're going to give you the option to install it and do the option later, or if they're going to just cram it down your throat like they did for Windows 10. Hopefully they will give you the option that it pops up and say, hey, we're ready to install Windows 11. Do you want it? And then you get you the option of yes or no, and then it goes from there. But as we've seen with Microsoft on Windows 10, when the update came through, almost 7 years ago, a lot of people turned on their computers for first thing in the morning. It says finishing up an update, and then all of a sudden, boom, they had Windows 10, and they didn't want it. They wanted Windows 7. So just be aware of that sometime October, November, Microsoft is going to push the 21H2 update, which is supposed to be the Windows 11 update. And you may turn on your computer or wake up one morning, sit down to your computer with a cup of coffee, and it's Windows 11. And you will have the option, at least when it goes to public, you will have the option to revert back to Windows 10. However, just be aware that sometimes that fails. So, if you don't have external drives, if you don't have cloud backups, get them now. Start doing them. This is one of those I talk about doing backups all the time, doing your system restore points all the time, making sure you've got your files stored in an external backup or in Google Drive or Microsoft Cloud's Drive, whatever. Make sure you're doing those, because it's going to be absolutely infuriating if your computer upgrades to Windows 11 and you don't want it, and you bring it to me and ask me to revert it back to Windows 10, and I start the process and it fails. Then you're either stuck with a Windows 11 computer if it works, or I have to wipe it and reinstall it. That's what I've read so far, but that's in the techie preview, that you have to wipe and reinstall to go back to Windows 10. That's not uncommon for tech reviews, not uncommon for beta reviews. But the reversing option will probably be a part of the public preview before it gets forced down everyone's throats. So just be aware of that. So if you're not doing backups, if you're not backing up your files, if you're not backing up your computer, like I said, get on it now. Get your external drives, get your cloud storage. There's Google Drive, there's SkyDrive or OneDrive from Microsoft that you can use. Backblaze is another good company. Carbonite is another good company. Again, not sponsors or anything, but that's what they're there for. Um, yeah, so if you don't want to store your stuff in the cloud, that's perfectly fine. Go get an external hard drive. If you need ideas, suggestions, recommendations for what an external drive you should get, give us a call. Um, you've seen the number. Find us on Facebook, send us a message, say, hey, what do I need? We'll give you some guidance. I don't have any stock right now, but I have a suspicion I should get some and put them in the vending machine, right? So, so yeah, definitely make sure you get your backup started. If you've never done a backup, now is the time to start doing it, because when Microsoft pushes this onto your computer, yeah, and the whole thing is going to be that, as you've seen so far on a fresh install on my computer, even though the PC health checker says my computer is not capable of running Windows 11, obviously you see it on a fresh install of a virtual machine, which is basically a clone of my machine. It installed just fine. You see the Windows 11 update is going through just fine also. So yes, get those backups done, because nothing's going to be more infuriating than your computer freezing, locking up, failing to upgrade, and then, I don't want to say you lose it all, but I've seen way too many people through the years who've brought their PCs to me who said, I've lost all of my files, what happened? So they had a problem with their Windows, it went into diagnostic mode, they click, oh, refresh my PC, or reset my PC, not knowing that there is an option of keep my files, because they don't realize that. They'll click on the option of reset all, thinking and yeah, it erases all their files. So yeah, do your backup now, and start doing them, because you never know when this is going to go through. Microsoft could push it early, it could be late, but just be aware it needs to. If you're not doing backups, get them done. Get those external drives now, get that cloud storage installed, start backing up your files. Make sure you have copies of the necessary software you need. So if you have Quicken, QuickBooks, a standalone version of Office like 2019, if you have an AutoCAD program, start looking for those software downloads now. Either you've got them on CD, you've got them on DVD, you got them on flash drive, you've got them in an email with a download link. Find them, make sure you have them ready, because you never know. I can't stress that enough. I like I said, through the years I've had people come in and ask us to fix their computer, and the only way to fix their computer is to wipe it and reinstall it, and then they have to go back through and add their QuickBooks, which they didn't back up like they were supposed to, so they have to re-add their QuickBooks and start all over again, and they've lost months and years of information. So now they got to figure out what they're doing with their taxes, and just do your backups. Do your backups, especially before this starts. Here we go. Now it says the PC is going to restart. We'll see that here in a second. But yeah, do your backups. If you've not done a backup and you need help, send us a text, give us a call, find us on Facebook, send us a message. We will assist you. It's real simple. So, but yeah, get them done before this gets crammed down your throat. So, alright, there's the restart. Of course, I'm using virtual. There's the square versus the slanted window that we all used to with Windows 10. There's the square. So obviously the process so far has been successful. If it was going to fail, it would fail right about this point here. And then hopefully on when they get to the public preview where you all can have it if you want, hopefully at that point they'll give the option of revert back to Windows 10. But yeah, here we go. We're at 62%. Your computer may restart a few times. Yeah, I've seen that in the past. The virtual machine, when I did it last night, only did it once. And this was the single restart that I did. But yeah, so far so good. Like I said, back up your computers. If you're not backing them up, If you've got the other thing to know too is if you've got a mechanical drive or a spinning drive and it's more than 5 years old, it might be time to upgrade to an SSD, especially on the older laptops. This will not guarantee your computer will upgrade to Windows 11, but hard drives fail. They fail. If your hard drive, if it's a spinning mechanical hard drive, like I said, if it will spin and I can read the information on it, that's great. But if it's, if your laptop's 5 years old, it might be time to change this out. So just to be aware of that. Again, that goes, and then if I change this out and it's not in a failed state, there's your backup. It'll be out of date, but at least there's a backup of your personal files. Your software can't be transferred. Hence the reason why I said make sure you've got copies of all of your installers, whether it be QuickBooks, Quicken, the standalone version of Office, whatever, AutoCAD, whatever programs you need. Make sure you've got 3 months. Get on it. Excuse me. My last couple of videos have been almost 30 minutes long, so I'm not used to talking for this long. And I've already sliced this into 3 parts. So, like I said, the upgrade, if you're upgrading from Windows 10 to a Windows 11 computer, it takes longer than the fresh install. This is because it has to convert everything from Windows 10 to Windows 11. That includes your drivers and your video display adapters and so on and so forth. That's why this process takes longer if you're upgrading. So like I said, when you come around October, November, and you turn on your computer, you see this, be patient. There we go. So you see it kept my local account. Hi, Microsoft. It kept my local account. It did not force me to go into a Microsoft account with the studio, which is a good thing. And yeah, again, say no Microsoft. A few more updates. Don't turn off your PC. Yeah. But it's a pretty background, right? So yeah, that's what we tell people. Say no to Microsoft. Don't do the Microsoft accounts. Absolutely not. If you've already bought 3 Office 365 or paying the yearly subscription, you don't have to put it. You could use the software on your computer, but you do not have to have a Microsoft account on your computer to use Office 365. So just random thought off to the side. But as you can see so far, it's going through. The process does take longer to upgrade than it does to fresh install, but this is what it looks like so far. Personally, I kind of like the supernova explosions, but hey. Keep your PC plugged on or keep your PC on and plugged in. Yeah, so that's good advice for those people who have laptops. Make sure that your laptop is plugged in when you're going through this process, because the fastest way to ruin a laptop is when you're doing a major update like this and the battery gives out. Will completely ruin your day. Well, a couple days, because it usually takes me a couple days to fix that. Because then I have to do the data recovery, get all your personal files off the hard drive, and then I have to erase the hard drive and put Windows 10 back on it, and of course I'll have to force Windows 11 on it. There you go, Windows 11 on the studio. Yep, internet is there, so these tiles should start filling in here soon. Went through just fine. As you know, Windows 11 uses the center bar, which from what I understand has ticked off Apple. So we'll see how that progresses. But yeah, there you go. So let's go into settings. Looks just like the same. It is a local account. We're going to do an update here and check. Those are the two that I kind of showed you yesterday that they was going to do updates. Let's go into activation. You will see that Windows 11 is activated with the digital license. Note, there is no Windows 11 activations yet. This is carrying over my Windows 10 key, which is probably what will happen. So that's good. Security is all in there. Yeah, I don't have the cloud protection turned on. I'm sure that's what that is. Yeah, I don't have, because I don't do anything on the cloud with the studio, so I don't have the cloud protection turned on. So there's that. Again, backups, 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 backups. If you're not doing them, get them done now. There's your recovery option. It says you can reset this PT, go back to a previous version of 10. Like I said, everything I have read so far says this is not an option right now. It will be an option in the future, though. So that's a good thing. Restart now, find my device. Let's take a look at some other things here. There is this, your file explorer. All the colorful stuff are there. Downloads, documents. Yep, all of it is there. Looks good, looks good. There's OneDrive. I don't subscribe to it, but yeah, I don't subscribe to it, so wonder why it's got stuff in there. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. PC. There's the installer for Windows 10. Yep, so all looks good here. Let's see, I wonder about my computer. There we go. So there's the AMD Threadripper where I said it's cloning it. It's got 4 gigs of RAM, device ID, You can see that Windows 11 Home is still in development mode. Again, techie preview, so you really, if you're in the public, general person, whatever, you shouldn't be doing this. Threats found. Oh, we'll have to figure that out because I was just in there and didn't see anything. So, yeah, this is in development mode, and that probably is a false report then. So, yeah, that's it. That's how long it takes. Longer than a fresh install, but so far it looks like everything is here. Oh, I bet you my OneDrive activated when I signed up for the Insider preview. Okay, that makes sense then. But yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. There's the store. Very similar to what you're used to. If you use the store, and if you've never used the store, you'll probably never use it anyways. Let's see. There's your search. There's your tasks. There's your widgets. And my widgets work on this computer because it is activated. Where on the fresh install I did yesterday, I did not have a key. So there's the widgets. If you're used to a Windows 10, it shows up down here. It now pops up this way. So yeah, there you go. You're getting an extra $600 stimulus check if you live in one of these states. Something to know. I'll have to read that later, I guess. So yep, your widgets are working. There's Edge. Night. Look how quick that is. There's Chrome. That loaded up really, really quick too. That's good. So yeah, there's the upgrade process for Windows 11 from Windows 10. Again, individual people, if you want to take a look at it before it is dumped on your computer, let me know. I do have the virtual machine Windows 11 installed, so you can. It is not activated, but you can then do a remote into it, take a look, poke around. If you physically want to look at it, again, let me know. Maybe I can convert a laptop real quick. But yeah, this is Windows 11. And I will probably keep the studio as Windows 11 as we go through this process, just to see the updates go through and changes that are made. That way, if it screws up the virtual machine, I'm not out anything. So, so there it is. That's your upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. This is what you kind of should have expect here in about 3 months. Again, reminder, get an external drive if you don't trust cloud storage. If you trust cloud storage, get those services started. Backup. Nothing's going to be more infuriating, I suspect, come October to January, possibly into June next year. Yeah, computers are going to upgrade to Windows 11, and it's going to just absolutely be atrocity. So back up, get those done. So that's the video for the day. I will get this uploaded and shared across the groups. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later.